Chester Taylor in the backfield. Everybody out. Favre rolls. Lets the throw deep and does. To the end zone.
We interrupt this program. The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is an attack warning. Repeat, this is an attack warning. Attack warning means that an actual attack against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
I do believe America's best days are behind her.
And this is the first time in history that not a single currency on earth is backed by anything.
If we continue on this path, not only is it unsustainable, but it is complete and utter destruction.
Every year, trillions of dollars are being printed by the United States Federal Reserve. The U.S. economy is quickly collapsing. The Federal Reserve was put in place to stabilize the national economy, controlling inflation while ensuring continual growth.
The Federal Reserve has become a large political tool for the president that's currently in office, any president that's in office.
The ordinary person doesn't understand what's going on here, and it's the paper in our wallets being driven to zero as fast as these criminals can do it.
Due to Congress's inability to compromise on a bill that would audit the Federal Reserve's actions, the Fed is able to operate in a very secretive manner.
Hyperinflation is on the rise. Hyperinflation occurs when the government can neither raise taxes or borrow money to pay for their spending and therefore print more money, attempting to create revenue.
The price of goods and services go up, the essentials, food, clothing, shelter, we see that in the grocery store now. It's not that the products have become more, it's that the dollar is becoming less. We've left the gold standard, so no longer does our money have to line up to anything.
So I think either Congress can control this situation and shut it down, or it's going to effectively be shut down by the world saying we're not just going to accept your dollars anymore because they're backed up by nothing.
Sometime soon, this whole artificial economy is going to implode.
What I want to say is Congress ought to get a backbone. They ought to say we deserve to know, we have a right to know, we have an obligation to know because we have an obligation to defend our currency. It's the destruction of the currency that destroys the middle class.
So as we keep printing money, the money becomes worth less until it's worthless. And at that point, all the wealth in America, pensions, retirement, your home, the assets that we have, are technically worth less and less because all of these goods and services that we have are produced in U.S. dollars.
Since the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, the value of the dollar has decreased 96%.
And we're saying, oh, don't go into the Fed, it'll be political. Yes, it's political. We have unemployment because of politics. We have people losing their homes because of politics. We have banks getting uncalculated amounts of money from the Federal Reserve, and we know about it. Meanwhile, people can't get a loan to keep their home or keep their business. Audit the Fed? You bet we should audit the Fed. We have to have accountability. It's time the Congress stood up for its constitutional role. Article 1, Section 8, power to coin or create money. It's time that we stood up for America's 99%. It's time that we stood up to the Federal Reserve that right now acts like it's some kind of high exalted priesthood, unaccountable in a democracy. Let's change that.
And whose responsibility is it for oversight? Which branch of government has the right of oversight?
Congress has the right of oversight, and we certainly fully accept that, and we fully accept the need for transparency and accountability. But it is a well-established fact that an independent central bank will provide better outcomes.
Not all people agree with the opinion that the Federal Reserve is detrimental to society. Many people believe that Congress plays no part in decisions made by the Fed, but in reality, Congress can do something about the way it is functioning.
In 2009 and 2010, H.R. 1207, a bill proposed to audit the Federal Reserve, swept the country. The bill passed as an amendment, but eventually the most significant portions of the bill were derailed. The bill was reintroduced in 2011 as H.R. 459 and passed in the House on July 25, 2012, 327 to 98. If you could give one message to Congress, what would you say?
Remember, you work for the people. Remember, compromise is the art of government. And that's how the Founding Fathers started this country. And stop all your grandstanding and do what you were sent there to do, and that is to compromise.
The irresponsible actions of Congress not only affect you, but will affect generations and generations to come.
Congress is not a source of money, it's where the money is because they've taken it from somebody, either literally in taxes or from borrowing, and that's borrowing from future payers, born and unborn, who are going to have to pay this back in some form or another.
This is not a joke. We caution you to take action. Prepare for what is to come and become informed on those who are controlling your money.
Congress needs to audit the Federal Reserve.
For our future and our country's sake, Congress,
Please act now.